we did say, your alignment was the issue initially to start with in terms of your address. Feet were aiming way off to the right there now. So in some ways, you're now trying to hit the golf ball kind of behind you, which is going to be a very powerful flick hook this way. When you try and sort of push it this way, it's a weaker version. Hitting it behind you like a swatting a fly kind. It always has a lot of power because wrists are involved with this movement. It creates club head speed and the ball shoots off. Then when you had that backswing length that we had now, as we can see, when that club goes back all the way there, you probably create, if we just saw that image down the left hand side, I think he's probably in that ball straight to that 50 sign, 50 yards, and that's where you're aligned up there, and you're going less than half of that to try and get it to go to the red flag. So as a result of that, in your downswing, you then got to try and take off 50% of distance and try and adjust the direction as you come back down. You can see now quite hopefully clearly the control of that club is completely gone, because you're trying to guess and how much is that, rather than, as we said, start behind the golf ball, come in from the side now and aim your golf club at a target. Not even look at the flag there, just aim at a spot in front of the golf ball that's towards your flag, and then you line up to that without even getting your face looking at the target. You aim the club there, get your body lined up to target there, as we can see, and get yourself in a more sort of square on position. Once you've established that setup, obviously you can look at the flag and make sure you're comfortable looking at the target to see where you're going. You're then judging by how far back you go, how far the shot will travel. So if you only go back this far, for example, it will go on just over stone, be 10 yards. Okay. If you go back this far, okay, and you go back a little bit further, that's going to go for 20 yards. And look at those two differences in backswing. Basically, your arms haven't shortened that much, but a lot less wrist hinge. And the three power sources that we're going to utilise in the golf swing: arms, wrist, and body turn. And they basically go in the order of arms, then wrist, and then body turn. So with these shots within about 20, 30 yards for yourself, you're only really using your arms and a little bit of hinge at the end. You're not making a big shoulder turn and cocking the wrist up there 90 degrees, because that's just going to create a lot of power that you're then required to sort of try and almost quit or take out of the shot. That's going to be very difficult. So we can set the distance going back, then you can accelerate through more towards target, and we can see now a much cleaner strike from the middle of the golf ball there on the golf club. And by striking the golf ball better, you will be able to judge distance a lot easier, because you'll hit the same shot. If you swing it now to here on the way back and swing through to there on the way through with a similar strike, the ball goes the same distance. Whereas before, you might have sort of some toey strikes, some miss hits, some tops. The variety of distance would be massive from the same swing. If you hit the ground behind the ball, or you hit the toe end of the golf club there, a swing that might go 40 yards might go 20. Then if you strike it properly, it goes 40. If you spin the golf ball, it goes 60. So you've got a massive dispersion. Most greens aren't 40 yards long. So if you're tipping onto the green at 20, 30 yards, you could be in the front bunker, or you're across the back of the green, or you're off. So your target, although your green's quite big, the dispersion between short and long is still too big because of the contact. So, to summarise that there, so line up, and that's going to be key. It's even worth, if you're hitting a few shots on the golf course or on the range somewhere, just put a few sticks on the ground to help you line it towards your target. Just get yourself lined up better, so you kind of feel, and then once you line up there, just look at the target. What does that look like, sort of going towards the door there, or the target, whatever you're aiming for? How does that visually seem to you, rather than, well, that's where I want to go and look behind me kind of thing. Once you've got that, your only real swing thought now is by how far you want the shot to go, by how far the club goes back. Just get the golf club to go back to a spot and then accelerate through. As long as you can accelerate the club through, you'll get a better contact. However, if the club's gone back this far, and when you did react to get a better contact by accelerating, it did go like 40. It was a great strike, but it went about 40, 50 yards, which in no uncertain terms for a 20-yard shot is going to be way too far, and well, be in trouble, isn't it? So, does that make sense? Yeah. Great stuff. Okay, I have a couple more then. And I think in terms of practice, I would suggest vary your target from one to the other. Don't always hit the same shot over and over again, because if you do the same shot, eventually you'll find a way of hitting the ball to that target, rather than actually adapting to each one. So sometimes it's worth going the red flag to 50, sign the yellow flag to red flag, and changing from shot to shot. Okay? I have a couple more, Darren.